And retired U.S. Navy captain and search and rescue expert Armin Kurdian, along with Heritage Foundation senior research fellow Dakota Wood. Gentlemen, thank you both for coming on. Captain Kurdian, to you first. The U.S. Navy says the following, quoting, and we put this on the screen, the U.S. Navy conducted an analysis of acoustic data and detected an anomaly consistent with an implosion or explosion in the general vicinity of where the Titan submersible was operating when communications were lost. Is this information that you believe, Armin, that should have been given out to the wider public?
Well, good evening, Trace. Considering the uncertain nature of sound as how it travels underwater, depending on when and where the implosion occurred, where this transceiver was that or receiver was that may have picked up the sound and the angle of arrival, you can't be absolutely positive. It's something that you're going to be telling the search team, and you might be helping you focus some of the search in some of that area. But to go out and say, hey, we heard an implosion, might have, well, in the end, it turns out to be correct, but it may not have been correct. So you want to make sure that you're very careful in how you use that information, because sometimes wrong information or incorrect information can be worse than no information at all.
Yeah, U.S. Congressman Dan Crenshaw says the U.S. response really was terrible, and that it really should have been an all-hands-on-deck situation. Listen to him, Dakota, and I'll get your response.
What appears to be the case is epic failure in leadership. Now, where exactly that leadership failure is, I'm not sure. Is it the White House, Coast Guard, Navy? I'm not sure.
I mean, did they not put all hands on deck, Dakota, because they thought this might be a futile effort?
No, I don't agree with that comment at all. I think you've got very well-intended people. Everybody's heart is in this. There is a heroic nobility in responding to this type of crisis. In a cold, hard situation, it's a 20-foot sub with 5 people aboard, and we've got freighters and pleasure craft and all sorts of things plying the waters, involving thousands or tens of thousands of people. So you can't take the entire military establishment and apply it against one problem, even one that gathered so much public attention. So my sympathies are with the crews that responded, the leadership chain, people trying to figure out what is needed, contacting who might have that asset, getting that asset into the area, and then getting it into the water and operating it. You just can't do that on a moment's notice. It takes time, attention, notification, mobilization, all those sorts of things. So I think he was off base in levying such heavy criticism.
You know, James Cameron, the filmmaker, who, of course, is behind Titanic, he also become kind of a deep-sea expert. He said this tonight. Watch.
They had lost tracking simultaneously. The only scenario that I could come up with in my mind that could account for that was an implosion. Then I watched over the ensuing days this whole sort of everybody running around with their hair on fire search, knowing full well that it was futile.
Yeah, you kind of go back to that little things we have heard over the years. Remember the soccer team, Captain Kurdian, that they were in the cave. We didn't know in the early hours where they were, but was everybody. I mean, every country, everybody just kind of flooded resources there. Do you think this was handled the right way from beginning to end?
Well, considering the information that we have, you still want to be covering all your bases. If you're 95% sure that the vehicle's on the bottom, you don't want to leave that other 5% to chance. So you've got other pleasure craft out there that maybe only have a radar. They don't have sonar. They can't search the deep sea, but they want to be a part of this. And Dakota is right. They want to go out there and look. So they're using their radar. Other aircraft are using their eyeballs. You have the P-3 that was dropping at sono buoys. You just can't be absolutely positive until you actually find the wreck. You don't know until till the end of the investigation. And this investigation is going to start long before, with events long before that transpired, before the Polar Prince ever left port.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, Dakota. Do you think this hurts adventure tourism, at least puts it on hold for the time being?
No, I think we've got adventurers all around the world, from climbing Mount Everest to going down weird rivers and into the jungles undersea. It's just part of the human condition, this desire to explore. So it'll cause the operators to double check their equipment. But I think individuals that are bent on this sort of thing, they won't be dissuaded at all.
Yeah, interesting. Dakota Wood, Armin Kurdian, gentlemen, thank you both.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.